Hello, good afternoon, Earthlings. I hope you are all safe at your respective homes. It's a very special day. The sun is shining from where I live at dahil dyan, magpapag-games kami at giveaway later. And of course, kasama ko ang very beautiful eco-sister ko, Ate G. How are you?
Hi, Rox! It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to be here with the lives again. Kasi last week hindi ko nakasama. So busy with work. It feels so great that we'll be having more guests today to be talking about what matters right now ngayon, pandemic na. Yung mga conversations na minsan nahihiya tayo pag-usapan with our friends and family. We're having them here on the Miss Philippines Earth page. But I have to ask you, Rox, I'm sure all of your fans are going to be so upset with me if I don't ask you this because this is the last week that we'll have together before the actual Miss Earth pageants. Kumusta naman ang mga preparations mo? Where's your head at right now? How are you feeling?
Wow, 1 week na lang ba? Na-pressure ako. Well, Ate G, okay naman. Sobrang fun naman kasi at least for the second time, naranasan ko, for the second time, mas naranasan ko yung virtual pageant. So this time, at least alam ko na yung dapat ko gawin, and yung mga kailangan ko i-prioritize. Like, good internet connection. alam mo yan. And happy ako, ate, kasi actually may WhatsApp group na kami ng ibang candidates. Hindi pa kami complete now, pero that's where we introduce yung mga bagong nananalo. So happy naman ako na even if I can't meet them personally, I could be friends with them virtually. Siguro yun yung most exciting part na I can still make friends with this very beautiful candidate. So I hope subaybayan nyo yan. Do expect all the activities from Miss Earth coming to you very, very soon na talaga.
Yes! I know, and Miss Earth, Miss Earth diba posted the list of the schedule already, and there are so many activities. We already know the coronation date. So excited about that. We're so excited to see your performance. And of course, us, your Elemental Queens, will be part of that as well to cheer you on and to get to know the other candidates. So sa lahat na nanonood, subaybayan niyo yan. We are so excited.
And can I just say, super na-miss namin si Ate G in our last lives. And ngayon naman, ang nami-miss namin is si Ate Pats, Ate Shane, and of course, si Elisa. Shout out to you girls. We miss you so much. And here we are to continue about the series of People Who Matter. And later, we're going to introduce our very, very special guests. But before that, eto na yung pre-promise ko. Mga viewers natin, masaya today kasi first time to actually magpapagames kami. Yeah. So actually, para manalo kayo, you have to watch the entire live para maabangan nyo din kung kayo yung winner. So ano yung games natin, Ate G, for today?
Okay, so we actually have 2 different games. And kung tinatanong nyo kung ano yung prize, you'll be receiving a very special package from the carousel team themselves. So may prepare sila. This is something we really planned. Nagka-meeting pa kami just to make sure that we give back to our viewers and to everybody that's been supporting us from day one and will continue to support us even till the end of our reign. So, ang dalawang games natin today, the first one is, I don't know what we call it, but I guess the biggest advice, or big brother, big sister. I always look to Roxy, my pageant BFF, for advice. She looks to me for advice. Now we want all of your advice as well. So we have 2 special guests today. And mag-comment lang kayo kung ano yung pinakamagandang advice, mensahe na mabibigay niyo sa kanila during this time while we are experiencing the pandemic. And then the second game was actually Roxy's idea. So why don't you introduce it?
Yeah, so for first, in connection to what you said on our first game, since tourism nga is one of the biggest industry impacted amidst this pandemic, our hoteliers and FAs are in need for your advice. So sana mabigay nyo yan, our viewers, since this is also the purpose of our live today, diba? And of course, for the second game, na sinadjust ko, I thought it was corny at first, pero nagustuhan nila. So ipa-flex ko na siya.
Yes,
do it. It's going to be a What's in the Box challenge. So me and Ate G have prepared items. This is actually What's in the Box challenge Miss Earth edition. So expect nyo na related sa environment or the protection of Mother Earth yung nasa laman ng box natin. And di namin kayo pahihirapan. Actually,
Yes.
madali lang yung games namin ngayon since love namin kayo. So,
Yes,
siguro yun yung unahin natin na. I me first and then you.
Sige, go ahead. And can I just
Okay.
get ng box mo? Nahiya ako sa box ko.
Yung box ng crown ko actually.
Oh, okay. Ang ganda.
Ayun. Okay. So, actually, madali lang yung item ko. Ay, ito pala. So, ngayon, magpapahula kami and then you comment down kung ano yung guess nyo. So, after, I think at the end of the live, doon namin i-announce. So, it's gonna be 2 items, one from me and one from Ate G. So, yung sa akin, super dali lang siya. At dahil madali lang siya, dalawa lang yung ibibigay ko na clues. First clue, sa mga Earth fans, Miss Philippines Earth fans at Miss Earth fans dyan, halos lahat kaming Eco Queens ay may eco activity na gamit ito. So, hindi lang siya sa Miss Philippines Earth Mask ngayon and Miss Earth, nakikita ko yung Eco Sisters ko with this item na dala-dala nila. At yung second clue ko naman, mula nung binawalan na yung mga usage ng plastic sa ibang groceries, nagsimula na tayo magdala nito para di tayo mahirapan. And dahil doon, nalilesen yung detrimental effects, which is plastic pollution. Ayan, so I think super easy ng item ko. Guess na guys, guess down below.
Yes, comment down below kung ano ang sa tingin nyo na nasa loob ng box ni Roxy because the winner will be receiving a special package from the Carousel team themselves. And i-announce namin kung ano yung nasa loob ng box ni Roxy at the end of this live. Now it's my turn. Sabi ko sa'yo, nahiya ako sa box mo dahil I just got this from the grocery.
At least recycled, di ba? Miss Earth edition
Recycled,
talaga.
yes. I mean, lahat ng boxes talagang tinatago namin. But mine is pretty easy as well. I know na uso maging plant tita ngayon. I'm gonna admit, yes, I joined Miss Philippines Earth. I'm an elemental queen, but I do not have the best green thumb. Roxy, you have to teach me how to take care of plants. I'm still learning. So this plant, I'll say it's a plant na inside, is actually probably the easiest to take care of. Ito yung recommend ng lahat ng friends ko. Hindi daw to mamamatay in my care. Kung mamamatay na, problema. So it's probably the easiest thing to take care of. And it's spiky. Ayan. Right? That's pretty sorry. 2 easy hints. So what's in my box is a plant that's spiky.
Wow, mga plantitos and plantitos out there. Comment na kayo.
Oh, yes, let us know. And we will be showing you what's inside. May mga nag-guess na. But we'll be showing you what's inside at the end of this live. So please comment down below. And then you'll have a chance to win a very special gift pack from Carousel Productions. So that is actually the first game for today. And earlier I mentioned we have another papremyo, right? So I think before we can remind our viewers what the second game is, let's get to introducing our special guest for the day.
Yes, good afternoon to our very special guest, starting off with a flight attendant, a very beautiful flight attendant. Hi, Miss Bea. Kumusta kayo?
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm okay.
Miss Bea, why don't you introduce yourself? Where are you currently working? How long you've worked there?
I am Bea from Cebu Pacific. I'm a flight attendant for Cebu Pacific, and I have been flying for 8 years now.
Wow. What? That's amazing.
Almost a decade.
Oh, that's incredible. So let's just clarify. Until now, you are still flying.
Yes. Until now, still a flight attendant. Thank God.
Oh, okay. So I think I'll just jump into my first question, right? Miss Bea, I have some friends who continue flying with the pandemic, and yung iba naman they had to abruptly stop their work. But for you to continue flying, you have to go through any special or separate training para ma-ensure lang na you exercise safety precautions so that your passengers are safe.
Yes. Before we actively flew last June, we had to undergo training. It's the new normal procedure training. We had to know how to use PPE and dispose PPEs, and also the new procedures when it comes to boarding, deplaning, and in-flight release when we're flying on. We had to undergo two trainings.
So how long did that take?
Oh, it was just like it didn't even last for a day. It was like a half day lang siya for the training because all we had to do was the virtual training. You know naman nowadays, trainings are virtual na. So we had to do it half day. And then afterwards, we went back to Manila to get our rapid testing. So all the guests really kampante to fly with us kasi we had our rapid tests and all of the crew that were flying are negative.
Oh, that's so great to hear. Before we get to the rest of our questions, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what it's like to be a flight attendant during this pandemic? Because I'm sure, during your 8 years, a lot of the flights were for leisure. The energy was different. The vibe was different. But now you're very much a frontliner because you're bringing people home. So tell us about that experience, how the feeling is, how it's different from normal.
So yeah, being a flight attendant nowadays gives me a roller coaster of emotions. Like kahit sino naman siguro ang FA nowadays, medyo iba-iba yung feelings na nafe-feel namin since we get frustrated because we don't fly as much as we used to. But to be honest, it is very much fulfilling to fly nowadays than before. Kasi now, mas kailangan ka to fly to different destinations kasi if there's no crew willing to fly to destinations like here in the Philippines, walang maghahatid dun sa mga pasahero or sa mga kababayan natin na kailangang umuwi sa mga hometowns nila. And we started flying around June. And then, actually, we did have flights during the lockdown, but there was just few, and most of them are cargo. So it's sad because most of the colleagues or most of the crew that happen to be friends with are not longer flying with Cebu Pacific, but still we're pushing through to make Cebu Pacific fly again, have more flights again. So most of them can come back with Cebu Pacific and fly as well.
I see. That's very interesting. I believe Roxy and I at some point have had a conversation about possibly becoming flight attendants someday as
Oh my
well.
God, sure. That would be fun.
I do
Yeah.
remember. I know we had some sort of conversation. So we actually have a lot of questions for you because we do know that the occupation right now is different. Roxy, do you have any questions for Miss Bea?
Yes. Hi, Miss Bea.
Hi.
Actually, pangarap, as Ate G said, we were like contemplating about if we would consider being a flight attendant. Pero when I was young, yun talaga yung dream ko. That's why I took up tourism as my course. Pero
Same.
naudlot siya. Siguro in the future, yeah. Yeah, siguro in the future, I could say flying with you soon.
Oh yes, why not?
Yeah.
That would be fun.
For my first question, what do you miss? Very casual lang. What do you miss most about your job kasi nga pandemic? How different is it now than it was before? Ano yung pinaka-miss mo? Yung mga katrabaho mo ba? Or yung marami kayong guests? I mean, marami kayong pasahero? What is it? What do you miss the most?
Our life right now as flight attendants are so different from before. Super nami-miss ko yung bonding ng mga flight attendants because kami, for Cebu Pacific, we have this habit na we sit sa isang area and then we all talk, tapos kwentuhan, even if our duties are already over na, we still stay at the office just to, mingle with the other crew. And I miss that so much, as well as yung layovers. Kasi layovers is where we get to know more about the people that we work with. And syempre, serving the guests, helping them in, aside from, being friendly with the other crew, being helpful with the guests is quite fulfilling for us as well.
Wow, hello sa mga workmates ni Miss Bea. Miss na niya kayo. And sana matapos na natin to kasi ako din nami-miss ko na yung friends ko. Iba talaga yung kapag work, tas yung nagbabond kayo with, di ba? Yun yung kahit nakakapagod yung day mo. Like when you spend it with your friends, with your workmates, parang nawawala. Dumadaan ang bilis ng oras na
Super.
enjoy mo. Yeah. So,
Like yung
yeah.
mga 8 hours na layover, wala lang sa amin. And kapag 8 hours na mga flight, wala lang sa amin since siya, may kwentuhan, may tawanan. So I miss that very much.
Yes. Siguro si Ate G also has her next question.
Yeah, I'm actually interested about this because we can't deny na being a flight attendant nga might be one of the most dangerous jobs right now. With the pandemic, you're jumping from one place to another and daming human exposure. So ano yung initial reaction ng family mo nung nalaman nila that you would have to continue to fly even during the pandemic? Were they more scared dahil nga sa mga risks, or were they more happy because you get to keep your job?
Well, honestly, they're so worried and scared for me since frontliner sa langit, sa sky. So, syempre, at first they asked me not to fly, but I insisted na I want to fly because the virus is here to stay for quite a long time. So, if not fly now, kailan pa? So, I was like, I'll fly. I have to. I've been doing this, like I said, for 8 years, and I'm so used to flying. Like, I can't not fly. So, kahit na worried sila, they were very understanding with my situation na gusto ko nga talaga lumipad. But, yeah, until now, they're still worried.
So how do you reassure them that everything is going to be okay, that you're staying safe?
Yeah, I told them that we have this rapid test every 2 weeks, and most of the crew are actually advised to stay at home and not make gala kung saan man kasi nga we have a lot of exposure sa mga pasahero. Also, yun nga, we have precautions during the flight. We have PPEs and everything. So, somehow, they're kampante naman with the reassurance that I gave them.
Okay, that's so great to hear that. I mean, I think with anyone who has a job right now and has to continue to keep working, talagang iba yung feeling ng family nila, but they also know that life goes on, that you're even lucky to be having a job right now. So I completely understand where your family is coming from and where you're coming from as well. Thank you for sharing that and being very open about it. Roxy, are you ready for your next question?
Yes, can I just say, gusto ko yung Kent not,
She cannot not fly.
Ayun, she cannot not fly. Grabe, di ba? Yung love niya for service talaga. And she just embraces being an FA so much. Gusto ko na din tuloy talaga mag-FA. Pupush ko na ata.
Masaya.
And
Ngayon lang hindi
connection.
masyado.
Ngayon lang hindi masyado. Siguro after pandemic, let's see. Yes, and in connection to you being a frontliner ngayon, how does it feel like? May sense of fulfillment ba knowing na you send people home to their families? Yun pa yung nagbibigay ng light sa heart mo to keep doing what you do?
Actually, super. Ever since I started flying, I have this flying gives me a sense of fulfillment kasi I get to take care of people. I get to mingle with other people, with other cultures. Lalo na ngayon kasi parang alam mo yon, it's not that easy to do right nowadays. So parang to help people get to their home safely, sobrang laking impact niya sa pagkatao ng mga crew na lumilipad. Parang ang sarap lang, mas makatulong lalo na ngayon.
Wow, thank you so much for your service. It is true, kayo yung modern day heroes talaga ngayon. And in behalf of the entire Miss Philippines Earth and Miss Earth, thank you talaga also for sending our kababayans home. Sobrang na-appreciate namin all that you do. And sa mga viewers natin, hindi po biro yung ginagawa nila. So please let us take the precautions needed para matapos na ito and they can go back to their jobs in na mas safe sila, na matapos na itong pandemya. So yeah, Ate G.
Yes, Miss Bea, I mean, thank you nga. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes,
There's
yes,
the fulfillment in your heart is different. Um, I guess from our outsider's perspective, we just think that being a flight attendant is so much fun because you get to travel. But when you share stories like this, it shows that there is more to what meets the eye when it comes to your job. So maraming salamat for also just having a positive disposition while talking about it amidst the negativity that is happening right now around the world. So maraming salamat for sharing your story. I actually have one last
you're
question for
welcome.
you. May
Sure.
mga kaibigan nga ako that are not as lucky and have had to let go of being a flight attendant or are not able to fly anymore because of the pandemic, because of the reduced number of flights. Ano yung biggest advice na mabibigay mo sa kanila, or mayroon ka bang words of motivation for them?
Actually, I posted about this a few months ago because a lot of the crew from Cebu Pacific have been laid off na, and oh my god, there you go. So I told them na take this time to try things they've never tried before. There's still hope naman eh. Eventually, everything will go back to normal, or yung new normal. Pag bumalik yung mga flights, eventually, they will have another chance to fly again. But take this time to try new things, things that they haven't tried before or thought of trying. And it's a good time to, spend time with your family. I for one, am thankful na kasi I had time to spend with my parents, even though na I have to go back flying again. But I think it's always keep your head up. Don't lose hope. Eventually, when things are back to normal, you'll get your wings back on again. You'll still get to fly, and just keep exploring for now. That's it.
I love that. And I'm sure everybody will value the words that, a fellow flight attendant can give to them. You've also been working as a flight attendant for so long. So maraming salamat for your service. Thank you for, being a part of, for travelers like me, for being a part of our journey. Sana one day Roxy and I get to fly, and you're the flight attendant. That would be absolutely amazing. Miss Bea, please stay because we'll actually be asking you some questions later from our viewers. And sa lahat naman ng viewers natin, gaya ng binanggit namin kanina, oo, meron nga kaming What's in the Box challenge, pero may pangalawang challenge pa kami ngayon. Kung may mabibigay naman kayo na advice para kay Miss Bea or kahit sino naman flight attendants na nanonood ngayon, please comment down below. It can be about safety when flying. It can be about keeping yourself emotionally and mentally healthy. Or kahit anong mensahe na gusto nyo ibigay sa kanila, sa mga flight attendants natin, comment down below. And we are going to choose the best piece of advice at the end of the show, who will also be getting a package from Carousel Productions. It's going to be a very special Miss Philippines Earth package. So please don't be afraid to comment down below. And with that, Roxy, alam ko naman that our second guest is very near and dear to your heart. So why don't you go ahead and introduce him?
Okay, but before that, Ate G, may last question ako gustong isingit para kay Miss Bea. Okay lang ba?
Sure,
Since,
sure.
yeah, since Ate G mentioned na we're very fond of traveling, so, like, pinag-usapan namin in our past life in our past life when we talked about our dream destination after this pandemic, sinabi namin Siargao. So we want to ask you, since yung FAs, that's why one of the reasons why they love their job so much, di ba, is kasi they get to travel. So I want to ask you, what is your dream destination after this pandemic?
Honestly, we all have the same dream destination, and that's Siargao as well. Before the lockdown started, I was actually in Siquijor. I didn't get to enjoy my mini vacation since I had to go home the next day agad after arriving. So, but I did enjoy Siquijor, but I really want to go back to Siargao and, surf again, just enjoy the beach, the culture there, yung mga tao doon. Super, super na-enjoy ko kasi talaga sa Siargao.
Wow, sana nga matapos na tong pandemic so we can all go to Siargao and who knows, we might see each other there. We would love to meet you personally.
I would love to meet you personally too.
Yes, thank you, Miss Bea. And we're going to have more questions for you to answer. As of now, I'm going to it's time to introduce, the long wait is over. We're going to introduce our second very special guest, a close friend of mine and a hotelier. Hi, Kristan. Kumusta?
Good afternoon to each and every one of all the viewers there.
Hello,
Afternoon.
Hi! Miss you. Kumusta naman? Kumusta ngayon? Kasi yung highlight ng live natin today is how is our hoteliers? So gusto namin malaman, kumusta nga ang mga hoteliers ngayon?
I think early this year, during the first 3 months of the pandemic, last January, we even experienced ashfall. That time, we still have a lot of local and foreign guests coming in and out of our hotel. But during the first week of February, the management decided to reduce manpower because of the drastic decrease in hotel occupancy and because of this pandemic as well. But still, I was able to go to work since they still gave me a schedule until last week of March. As time goes by, until last week, as time goes by, I already know that this gonna happen because we already experiencing it inside the hotel. I am really aware of what is happening. I always remind myself to make sure that I am always ready uh, because life is unpredictable and you never know what's coming next. So always be ready for a change.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. With that, I'll jump now with my first question. Since you shared na you went home, diba? To your province,
Yes.
your home to your province, at your province now. So, ang matatanong ko sa'yo is, di ba, maraming affected na employees ngayon because of the pandemic, mostly in the tourism sector. So, they had to send a lot actually of employees home. And actually, ako, yung isa sa mga tao na no work, no pay talaga. So, I understand. I understand what it's like. And siguro ang question ko for you is, ano yung message mo sa mga taong insensitive? Like, they don't want to wear masks, face shields, they aren't taking the proper precautions, and because of this insensitivity, it's causing the jobs of people. So ano yung reaction mo or ano yung message mo sa kanila as a
Um,
person who is affected, whose job is affected because of the pandemic?
Actually, I'm really upset every time I encounter people who are not following the new normal protocols. We have been doing this for a couple of months. I don't really I really don't understand why they do not practice the new normal. Just simply follow the rules and regulations of the government, and by practicing the safety precautions, by of course wearing mask every time you go out, but you need to go out just for necessities, and of course before entering the house, disinfect yourself to secure the security of your family. And of course, wash and sanitize your hands, stay hydrated, and drink vitamins for you to boost your immune system. And also, since online selling is very rampant nowadays, I advise I advise to the buyers to sanitize it first, their parcels, before receiving it. And of course, lastly, this is very important. Please write your information in the data sheets clearly and accurately for easy contact tracing.
Wow, thank you for sharing some advices. I hope our viewers today got a thing or two from you. So thank you for answering that. And yes, please, let's do continue to take proper precautions. So mahabalik na yung karamihan sa kanilang trabaho. As Miss Bea said, for flight attendants, I hope they get their wings back. And of course, our hoteliers who are also highly impacted. So sana let's work together in solidarity to finally put an end talaga to this pandemic. Please lang, araw-araw ko nagdadasal na sana magka-vaccine na rin. Ayan, para sabay-sabay tayo bumalik sa mga trabaho natin. Yes, Ate G, do you have a question for Kristan? For Sir
Yes.
Kristan, isa-sir ko na lang siya ngayon. Sir
Hindi na
Hi,
twin.
Stan.
Hello,
Nice
hello
to
Queen
meet you
Gianna.
virtually. Thank you for also being willing to share your story today. Alam naman natin na hindi madaling pag-usapan ng mga trabaho natin, lalo na with the pandemic, whatever state our occupations are in, it's very, very difficult. So first of all, maraming salamat. Also, na-notice ko nung when you were initially sharing your story, positive pa rin ang viewpoint mo about what's going on, na kahit ano naman mangyari, dapat ready ka na. So my question's actually going to relate to that. I feel like lahat tayo naman hindi ready sa sa effect nitong COVID-19. We didn't know that we would still be in a lockdown until now. Ano na ba? September na.
Actually.
We didn't know that we still wouldn't be able to see each other. So kailan during the year did you begin to realize na hindi na nagbo-book ang mga tao sa hotel, and parang bumababa na yung business? When did you start realizing that, and ano naman yung reaction mo dun?
During the first 3 months, what I said a while ago, no, I remember we already practicing safety precautions in the new normal inside the hotel. Ever since then, our guests safety is our top priority talaga. And I even experienced going to work walking because there was no available public transportation at that time. Luckily, I live near my workplace, still very convenient for me. And that is why I still go to work on time despite of the pandemic. First week of March, we were advised to stay inside the hotel due to lockdown and for everyone's safety and security. I am proud to say that the best thing about our hotel is that we continue to operate. We never stop operating, even if this difficult time. They are last week of March, the management came up with the decision to reduce again the manpower. That is why I'm currently here in La Union, my province, for 6 months already.
Okay. So talagang beginning of March pa lang, and throughout March doon na talaga maraming mga changes, right? And you actually are now back with your family. Can I ask what province are you in?
I'm currently here in my province, San Fernando City, La Union.
Okay, you're in San Fernando, La Union. Yeah, so many people are commenting in support of you sa ating comment section. You have very supportive friends and family. So with that, ano naman reaction ng mga friends and family mo nung umuwi ka and you had to take a pause from your work? And with that, ano yung mga advantages na kasama mo na sila ulit and you get to be with them during this time?
Actually, it was mixed emotions. They were all happy because finally we can be able to have a quality time again. We can do what we usually do, because I never had the chance to go home before because of my busy work schedule. They were also sad at the same time because I am affected with the current situation. It is really important opportunity to strengthen the relationship of a family and create sense of unity during this difficult time. Being able to be with my family during this pandemic is such a blessing, and I'm grateful sa kanila dahil they do understand yung sitwasyon ko ngayon.
I love that. Very beauty pageant ang answer mo, Kristen. Thank you so much for that. Before I get to my last question, I believe Roxy has a couple more questions.
Yes, hello sa family ni Kristan and sa dami ng fans niya. Thank you for joining us today. Yes, mas marami siyang fans sa atin, Ate G.
Sobrang supportive nila.
Yes. Yung question ko naman sa'yo, very light din. Since ako nag-OJT ako sa hotel and I got used to smiling at everybody, spending so much time with my workmates, and sobrang na-embrace ko na yung pagbibigay ng service. I miss all those things. Ikaw naman, ano yung nami-miss mo ngayon na you can still go back to your job? Ano yung pinaka nami-miss mo?
Honestly, Queen Roxy, the whole experience. In my daily work routine, I acquired new information and knowledge. I think that's the best thing about working. You never stop learning. I already miss interacting and getting along with different nationalities and personalities and serving them with the Filipino way of hospitality and the best way possible. And And of course, I also miss being with my workmates, or I can say my family also, because we already established strong relationship with each other. Being with them is what I miss the most.
Wow. Hello na rin sa mga workmates ni Sir Kristan.
Actually, they are all watching right now.
Wow.
Hello, guys.
Wow, hello po sa inyo. And yes, sobrang nakakamiss talaga yung mga bagay. Hindi talaga, sobrang namimiss ko yung pagbibigay ng service. So, thank you for answering my question. Very well. Actually, si Kristen talaga, academic achiever siya sa school namin. Kaya ganyan siya mag-answer. May
Mana sa'yo, Queen.
May fact factor talaga. It's a yes
That's why
for
we're
me.
friends.
Ayan, thank you, Kristen. I think Ate G, gusto ko yung conversation natin, super light lang. So, yes, Ate G, I think Ate G also has a last question.
Yes, I have a last question. Star student ka pala, Kristen. Talagang it's very obvious. Ikaw yung tipo sa classroom, lagi kong tatanungin, ano yung homework last night, di ba? So, I love your answers. And Roxy and I are both quite optimistic people. And Miss Bayard, she shared her words of optimism. Now I'm going to ask you, what are you hoping will happen naman in the next coming months? And with that, in touch pa rin ba kayo ng workmates nyo? And are you hoping to see each other again very soon?
I think most of us are hoping and praying that this pandemic will be over already, because it has affected so many lives, the economy, the hotel and tourism industry, and the livelihood of each and one of us. We are all affected by this pandemic. That is why we should follow new normal protocols and follow the rules and regulations of our government. For me, unity and discipline is the only way to stop the spread of COVID-19. Regarding with my workmates, yes, I still communicate with them. Actually, they are watching at this very moment. We are all feeling hopeful and optimistic. After this pandemic, we can all finally go back to work and serve you with a big smile like nothing happened. We are looking forward to that day.
Oh, I love that. I love the optimism, and I love, hearing, kasi for us, I guess, Ren, for us mga queens who have researched so much about the pandemic and try to interact with as many people as possible, especially with this People Who Matter series, we really, sometimes Roxy and I message each other after and say, wow, sobrang heartbreaking yung nangyari doon, or hindi kami makaget over from the hardships that we hear of. So thank you, Kristen, for, I love how you said you want to go back to work with the same smile on your face as if nothing happened, because that's something that we all need to hear right now, and we're hoping will happen very, very soon. So thank you for sharing your story today. Stay there, because we will be asking a few more questions in a little bit. Roxy, do you have any more questions or anything else to say?
Well, na-answer na niya sa intro niya kanina yung very first question ko. So siguro I'm gonna leave the rest of the question to our viewers na lang later on. So everybody, na mas lalo yung sumali sa games natin, dyan lang kayo. Ito na talaga. Ito na, Ate G.
Okay, ito na nga kasi we are actually, before we get to our second game, ang dami namin pa games today, we're going to be announcing the answer and our winners for our very first game, and that is the What's in the Box challenge. So let's start with Roxy. Can you remind us ano yung mga hints mo and what is in your box?
Okay, so yung hints ko kanina is first, kaming mga eco-angels, madalas ito makita sa mga eco-activity namin. So, ginawa ko na talaga. I'm so bad at this game. Bakit ko to sinuggest? So, madalas na nakikita ito sa mga eco-activities ng eco-angels. And second is, ginagamit siya madalas mula nung binawal na yung plastic sa mga grocery stores, and this also contributes to lessening plastic waste. So, i-reveal ko na siya.
Ganda ng box eh. Drum roll.
Tayo na yung gumawa ng sarili natin sound. Gusto ko talaga maranasan to yung intense. Parang first time ko maranasan to. hindi pa obvious, no?
Where's my pen stapler?
Eco
Yeah!
bag! Wait lang, ilabas ko siya para mas makita.
So nice.
Yeah. Eco bag. This is actually an eco bag from Zero Hunger Philippines. So kapag i-plug ko lang, if you buy a bag, matutulungan, you can extend food assistance to our kababayans in need. So talagang siya, Miss Earth edition ang what's in the box natin. So congratulations sa nakahula. I think we do have a winner.
Yes, so our winner for Roxy's What's in the Box challenge. Congratulations to Jeannie Ancheta. Congratulations, Jeannie Ancheta, for guessing that an eco bag was inside Roxy's box. All you have to do to claim your presents from Carousel Productions is just message the Miss Philippines Earth page. Again, just message the Miss Philippines Earth page to claim your prizes. But kung hindi nyo nakuha yung first one, okay lang, kasi may pangalawa pa. I also have a box.
Ang magandang box ni Ate G.
Yes, a recycled box.
Recycled box.
Grocery.
Very Miss Earth.
And earlier I said my item is, for those of you who are like me who still struggle with being a plantita, ito yung pinakamadaling alagaan. And it's spiky. So, in my box, it is... I have a succulent or a cactus. Ayan.
Cute!
So small and it's so cute. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. Hindi pa siya namamatay, so...
Congrats!
It's a win
to
for
you,
me.
Ate. Kudos to you.
It's a win for me, but also we actually do have a winner. We have a winner for the second one. Should we announce it now? Yes, because earlier we already announced the first one. Now let's announce our second winner for our What's in the Box challenge. Congratulations to Shaina Galutan. Congratulations to Shaina Galutan. Just message the Miss Philippines Earth Facebook page to claim your prizes from Carousel Productions. And with that, if you're not Jeannie Ancheta or Shaina Galutan and nag-guess kayo, don't you worry, because you will still have a chance to win 2 more of our special gift prizes from Carousel Productions and the entire Miss Philippines Earth family. Kanina sinabi namin na we want you to give advice, ask questions, give your messages to our guests for today, for Miss Bea and Sir Kristen. Anything you want to say to our flight attendants who are watching right now as well, and for our hoteliers, please do give any advice, any message, comment down below before we announce our second batch of winners. But in the meantime, we actually do have some questions for you, Miss Bea, and for you, Mr. Kristen, from some of our viewers. All right? So let's check this one out. This question is for Filipina Ning on Instagram. It's for both of you. Did you experience having breakdowns, hallucinations, or just anxiety knowing that the cases are getting higher and higher each day? And for you, Sir Kristen, knowing that it might take a long time before you get back to your job again, or for you, Miss Bea, knowing that it might take a long time for things to be normal again. So how did you handle that? Who wants to go first? Miss Bea, would you like to go first?
Yeah, when it comes to, yes, I did have anxiety during, well, sometimes meron pa din siya kasi nga we're not yet back to normal. But I handled it in a way na I kept myself busy. I tried doing yung mga hobbies ko before na hindi ko masyado nagagawa when I was flying. I tried doing it again and tried reading, painting, everything that keeps my mind occupied para I don't have to think of things that makes me worry. And also, syempre, to share with my friends na what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about. Kasi, syempre, sharing your thoughts with other people will help, lalo na when you have anxiety.
Actually, ako din naman nagkaroon din ng anxiety. Lahat naman tayo siguro up to this day may anxiety pa rin. No? Nagkaka-anxiety rin ako kapag nanonood ako ng news, natitrigger talaga yung anxiety ko. So much has happened, so many things have changed. I've reached a certain point in my life where I know what I can do and what I cannot do during this pandemic. This pandemic itself taught me how to be strong, how to be independent, and how to be mature when it comes to discernment of about certain things. But now I'm doing fine naman. Kasi I'm with my family.
That's good to know na you both are doing fine now. And I just wanted to share kasi sometimes yung nagkakause din na anxiety is seeing people na bakit ang saya-saya nila tapos parang ikaw lang yung may problema. This is like sa social media, di ba? Parang ito yung biggest problem. Like as for me then, parang in social media kasi we only see what people want us to see.
Yes.
So yung good things. So kunwari ako, puro magaganda yung mga pinopost ko, that doesn't mean na I'm not going through anything. Kasi that's, if I show only the good parts, maybe yun lang talaga yung gusto kong ipakita. So ako naman yun din yung, dun din ako nakakakuha ng anxiety, like seeing people na, parang I feel like I'm the only one who's going through the struggles. Pero if you think deeper talaga, like everyone's going through something, like, and I just want to tell everybody na it's okay to be okay, mostly at a time like this pandemic. Just take one day at a time, talk to the people you love, wag niyong i-keep sa sarili niyo kasi if you vent that out, mas magiging, it's gonna be, you're gonna be more, masasabi mo na yung nasa loob mo, then you would be more relaxed, you would be more happy. And of course, sa family natin, who, mag-vent out tayo dun sa mga friends natin, yung family natin, those people who love us unconditionally. So it's okay to feel anxious. A lot of us are going through that. Yeah, it's okay to not be okay talaga.
Yes, and I actually love that question that we got a question like that on Instagram because that's the exact purpose of why we did this series of people who matter or what matters during this pandemic. I remember, side note lang kasi this is the last episode Roxy and I will be in for a while for this series. When we were suggesting as well sa Carousel team and sa Miss Philippines Earth team on what we can do on the page, ang sinabi talaga namin, we want people to realize that yes, we as queens too encounter our own problems. People that we look up to encounter their own problems. Everybody is going through something, especially with this pandemic. So I want to thank you, Sir Kristan, you, Miss Bea, and all of our previous guests again for sharing your story, and for Roxy for those sentiments that it's okay not to be okay. Things are not always, what you just see on the outside. Everybody can put up a facade, but we have to dig deeper during this time. So we're talking about, being vulnerable in our emotions. Let's think on a more positive note naman, because I think that's what keeps us going during these times. This is another question from Philippine Yaning on Instagram for Miss Bea and Sir Kristen. And you know what, Roxy, you should answer it too. What was the best thing that happened to you during the duration of the pandemic?
Who's gonna go first? Siguro ako na lang yung mag-go first. So, definitely, winning the crown. Not just the crown, kasi it's what came with it. Kasi with the crown, it really did pave a way to a more inclusive reach. So now that we are Earth Queens, Ate G, mas marami na tayong natutulungan. We extend our love to our kababayans much more kasi at this time, our kababayans need it the most. So, ang frontliners nga tuloy sa trabaho. So, happy ako na pati ako binigyan ng chance na tuloy pa rin sa trabaho, mag-serve, uplift our, not only Filipinos, yung mga matutulungan pa natin worldwide talaga, yung ma-offer namin as Earth Queen. So siguro yun yung fulfillment sa akin na yun. It's my silver lining. And with that, also seeing nature heal, Mother Earth healing, yun talaga, yun yung highlight, yun yung silver lining sa pandemya na nangyayari ito. Ayan, Ate G.
I know, I agree.
Nagulat ako, bakit ako nasama sa Q&A?
Well,
ba to?
To practice yung Q&A mo rin, because this is the last time we're gonna have like a deep, in-depth
I'm gonna miss this actually. I'm probably miss ko to.
Before the international competition, which we are so excited for. Miss Bea, what do you think was the best thing that happened to you naman during this pandemic?
Well, the best thing was I got to spend so much time with my parents because pre-COVID, pre-pandemic, I barely go home since I am busy with work and I have other gigs other than flying. So being with them made me really happy kasi after this, I don't think if I'm gonna be able to come home as much as I used to, like now. Kasi both of my parents are senior citizens and I don't want to risk their health. Lalo na kung pauwi-pauwi ako dito sa amin. So yeah, being with them is the best.
Oh, I know Roxy feels that same way because she's home now.
Yeah, at least my mom, pagka-uwi ko, Mommy! Yeah, iba talaga yung feeling, being home with your family.
How about you, Sir Kristen? I know you went home as well. What's the best thing that happened during this pandemic?
I think I'm still healthy. My family is still healthy. No, I'll be able to spend time with them, quality time again with them. Nagiging anak ulit ako nila. Nagagawa ko ulit yung pagiging pangani ko dito sa bahay na to. Na-miss ko sobra. At yun lang naman ang mas importante ngayon yung ligtas kaming lahat at despite of what happening around.
Oh, that's awesome. We actually have a question. I guess this will be our last question before we say goodbye to everyone. This is from Jektan and Cheta. I think they know you, Sir Christian. Since you mentioned about online shopping or selling, and we are all experiencing this pandemic, what's the piece of advice that you can give that can help people earn money during this time since a lot of people got laid off?
Do what you love. What you love to do. You're passionate about. Never stop dreaming. Never stop. This is not a hindrance for us to give up. Just do the right thing.
Yes, wow. Do what you love. Sobrang gusto ko yun. And of course, it's good that we have an alternative which is online selling. And ako kasi, like I wanted to share then, nahilig ako sa cooking. Kaya yun yung ginawa ko. Like before, prior to winning Miss Philippines Earth, we sold pasta. Where the proceeds would go to people in need. So, sabi nga nila, like, if you find for a job, or siguro ngayon kasi alternative, do something you are, like something you love, kasi that means you won't have to work a day in your life. So, pag nagluluto ako ng pasta, I don't feel like, hindi siya nakakapagod, na-enjoy ko siya. So, to all those who are finding for alternatives, connected to something you're passionate about, para hindi ka din na mababaan ng loob. Like, this would motivate you to do better with yung alternative job mo ngayon. And hold on, keep the faith. Malalagpasan din natin to. We can all go back to our regular jobs, hopefully real soon. Ayan.
Yeah, and I think it's all about being creative as well. Because sometimes, I guess, before the pandemic, lahat tayo, we were so used to just being under a schedule and a routine, so used to a system that, when all of that was broken down because of the pandemic, hindi na natin alam kung ano yung next move natin. I will admit too, I experienced that again. Hala, nagagawin ko kasi I'm so used to just being on the go. But it's all about just being creative and taking it as an opportunity to, yes, pursue something that you love, or spend more time with your family, or just reevaluate ano ang priorities nyo sa buhay, which might not be the same as it was before the pandemic. So with that, thank you so much for sharing your story, Sir Kristen and Miss Bea. Thank you for being here. Maraming salamat rin sa lahat ng ating mga viewers that joined us today. Roxy, do you have anything to say to Sir Kristen and Miss Bea?
Yes, so di ba originally may game tayo of who's gonna give an advice. So I think wala pa nagbigay ng advice, so kami na lang ang mag-a-advise sa inyo. So first of all, we're very grateful for you being able to join us today, and thank you for sharing your insights. I too did learn a lot from you, and I really love the vibe and your positivity, your optimism. And ang message ko sa inyo, ayun, hold on, know that you're not going through these things alone. Kasi like sometimes like me, parang feeling ko ako lang yung may problema sa mundo. Pero no, like we're all on the same boat. Sabi nga ni Ate Shane, sobrang gusto ko yung line ni Ate Shane na yun. We're all on the same boat. But keep the faith. We can get through this together. Let's continue to pray kasi we don't know. You'll be surprised on what miracles ang nagagawa talaga ng prayer. So with that, be kind to yourself. Syempre, don't be too hard on yourself and be kind na rin sa mga tao around you. When we don't have like livelihood, when we don't have much to eat, all we have left is the love, not only in our family, but the love we have for one another. So let's keep the love, let's keep the faith, let's work in solidarity to finally put an end to this pandemic and know that we would heal talaga as one. Ayan, yun yung advice ko sa kanila.
That was amazing. I actually want to read. I think your mom gave some advice too on our live, Roxy. And this is really nice. She says, as we all know, life is not a bed of roses. We need to experience challenges so that we can experience joy. And I think that'll also go along with the same sentiments that I could give to Sir Kristen and Miss Bea. I know we're all going through hardships right now and it feels weird. It feels funky. Hindi natin alam ano ba itong mga feelings or experiences that we are going through. But whatever it is, I think it's all right now, it's all just relying on yourself and your abilities and how much of yourself you know that how much you are worth. I guess I know that sounds so cliche, pero I've experienced so much self-doubt within the Miss Philippines Earth pageant, and even now with my job, we're all going through the same thing, and it's all about telling yourself that you will get through this, that you are strong, that you are beautiful, and you are capable of so many things that are bigger than this pandemic. So maraming salamat for being here because I learned so much rin from you guys. I think with this pandemic rin, we're just so boxed into our own world that we forget to listen to the stories of people who matter, which is the purpose of this live. So maraming salamat for being here. And with that rin, congratulations sa ating mga winners from kanina. I have to re-announce it. Congratulations to Jeannie and Cheta, who guessed what was in Roxy's box. And congratulations as well to, where was it? I think her name was, Shaina Galutan, who also will be receiving a